What's going on, everybody? My name is John Serwin, and this is my kitchen. Welcome. Today I'm going to show you how I made this homemade potato buns using a new ingredient that I have never used before. We're going to see how they work out because I want to be able to use these for burgers, chicken salad, chicken sandwiches, anything under the sun that you could put on a bun. Didn't mean to do that, but that's pretty sweet. All right, stick around. All right, to get started on making our potato buns, right here we got 100 grams of milk and 100 grams of water. It's about 90 degrees. And next we're going to do 50 grams of honey. Oh, you know what? I'm going to weigh this out because every time I try to do honey in another bowl and then transfer it over, it doesn't work out so well. So I'm just going to go ahead and weigh out. Let me see if I can show you guys. Or you're just going to have to believe me maybe on this one. It's going to be 50 grams of honey. Look at that cascade. Whoa. Well, all right, we got 53 grams of honey. Close enough. Next, we're going to put in 1 large egg. I always like cracking it on a flat surface. What do I have going on next? Though, 75 grams melted butter. I have 10 grams of active dry yeast. If you're using instant yeast, do 8 grams, which is 1 packet basically. But this is active dry, so I do 10 grams. They say the switch out is 1.25%. I'm going to go ahead and, where'd that spoon go? Start giving this a little bit of a mix up. And next we're going to go in with a secret ingredient. I've been trying to make this recipe now for about 4 or 5 unsuccessful tries, and I'm going to give this a shot. It's dough conditioner. 15 grams dough conditioner. They say this is what makes it that commercial fluffy bun. I've made other buns before, and they're good the day you make them. Day 2, they really start stiffening up, which is just not ideal because not going to use it all at once. All right. And then we got 150 grams of riced potatoes. So it's basically just mashed potatoes, but I put it through a ricer, so it's super fine. Let me show you what I mean by a riced mashed potato. So all I did was take a potato, I peeled it, I threw it in the oven at 375 for about an hour. And then this is called a potato ricer. That's the canister. Those are the fine holes in there. So put that in there. I'm going to actually break it into 2. I'm going to do the whole potato at once. Ooh. So there, got it. And yeah, measure out 150 grams of this right here. This is the riced mashed potato. I'm going to throw that on in. Next, we got 625 grams of all-purpose flour. Not bread flour, all-purpose we're going with on this one. Ooh, let's see if I can not make a mess. This small oversight on my part. Yep, there we go. Still learning. We'll call it 621 grams because it looks like a few of these got onto the bench. No big deal. Last but not least, we're going to do 12 grams of salt. I'm going to put on our dough hook. Slide her on down, and we are going to start her off at 6, and we are going to go for about 8 to 10 minutes, which is kind of a long time, but that dough conditioner will help with the gluten. But yeah, 8 to 10 minutes, half speed, medium speed. Just want to give you a little information on what dough conditioner is, because I had to look it up. Dough conditioner is enrichments that it helps with caramelization, it helps with fortifying the gluten, it improves the proofing or speeds up the proofing. And then if you have inconsistency in your all-purpose flour, it levels it off and builds up the quality. It's been about 9 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. We're going to take a look. It definitely climbed up that dough hook. And oh yeah, that's a nice pull there. Get this out of the work bowl and get it into another bowl. And now in the biz, this is what they call 10-to-2 shaping. That's what we call it. I literally just learned that term today, but it sounds really cool, so I'm going to use it. And it doesn't work out so well for me, so I'm just going to go ahead and shape it like this, how I see fit, and get a nice taut skin on her. Just go ahead and get all the seams to the bottom, and then let it rest. But, oh, hey, I can do that 10-to-2 shaping now. All right, but now we're done. So I'm going to cover it with a tea towel and half-hour rest. Well, unbeknownst to me, my mic was not on while filming this segment. What I do here is after a half-hour rest, I will aggressively and I repeat, aggressively degas the dough. Then I will do a technique known as 4 pull and fold. You pull the dough up until you meet resistance, fold it over, then turn 1/4, repeat the process 3 more times. When that's complete, I'll flip the dough over to put the seam side down and commence that sweet 10 to 2 roll technique. Do this until you have a nice taut skin once again, and when finished, I will cover with a tea towel and give the dough another 30-minute rest. Another half hour has passed, and we are going to check on our dough. I think my active dry yeast probably needed to be bloomed a little more, but that's okay. I'm going to take this out. We're going to degas it one more time, and then we're going to make 12 balls out of this for our buns. All right, so yeah, 100-gram balls. All right, now that we got all these portioned out into 100-gram pieces, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to degas, and we're going to roll. Just fold twice. We're going to flip over, and then we're going to ball it up like such. I'm going to take a pan that I have my silicone, and I'm going to spray it with some duck fat spray. And I'm only going to do 6 right now, so speed this up and show you. Six of them made up. Now I'm going to spritz them with a little bit of water, maybe like 6 total pumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to cover them with plastic wrap. And I just found out my oven actually has a proofing setting. If your oven doesn't have a proofing setting, though, you can always put it in the oven, tilt open the door a little bit just to have the light on. And that should be about a 90-degree environment for it to proof up. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and give it about 60 to 90 minutes to proof up before we start baking. It's now been about 70 minutes. We're going to go ahead and retrieve the buns from the proofing box, which is my oven. All right, take the plastic wrap off. Not looking too shabby. Now we're going to do an egg wash. 1 egg, 3 tablespoons of water. Really start breaking down that egg white as much as you can. I got my top oven preheated to 400 degrees. We're going to cook these for 15 to 18 minutes. After about 8 minutes, we're going to go ahead and rotate them front to back. All right, that's good. Broken up pretty good. But I do have one little secret ingredient I am going to put on top of these once I get this egg wash done. See if you can guess in the comments below before I put them on there, and then see if you were correct. All right, all egg washed up. And finally, what we're going to do is use a little bit of everything bagel seasoning on top. Start out high. In the oven, 400 degrees. Rotate after 8 minutes. Oh, one last thing. We are going to take that water, and we're going to do about 12 spritzes of water in here. Could have been 13, baker's dozen, I guess. It's now been 8 minutes. We're going to go ahead and see how we're doing. All right, looking pretty good. I think we might be going the full 18 possibly, but yeah, just going to rotate these around. And I guess here, if you want to see what they look like right now, these were the ones that were in back, those were in front. So we're going to push these in. Another 8 to 10 minutes. All right, it's been a total of 18 minutes. Let's see how she looks. That looks pretty good. All right, for not being a baker, I'm pretty happy with that. Ooh, notice that? Got that with my foot. All right, I'm going to put this on this little cool rack here and let it cool. But I think this everything bagel seasoning on top, I don't know, I haven't really ever seen a bun with everything bagel seasoning on there. Figured why not give it a shot. All right, now that these have cooled down, let's cut into one and see how it turned out. Because with the dough conditioner, that's the first time I'm using it. Hopefully it turned out pretty well. Feels pretty soft, but I've made these before where they're soft on the day that they're made. The key is going to be next day, I guess, but oh wow. That feels pretty good. Let's give it a quick, let's give it a shot with this everything bagel seasoning on there. All right, think we're onto something. I'm gonna have to start featuring these. All right, well, hey folks, thanks for stopping by. And remember, when you're cooking, you're just making food out of ingredients until you sit down and share it with loved ones. So then it's a meal. All right, thanks for coming by. Till next time, greatly appreciate it.